What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be getting into my top pocket knives of the week. Let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into my top pocket knives of the week. This is the Art Company knife roll. This is really convenient if I have to lug a handful of knives around. I really like grabbing this. It's super streamlined, really well made, and I really like the dude that is manufacturing these. So let me go ahead and pop this open and we'll jump into it. Full disclosure though, on Tuesday I carried the Devo Knives Mash, and I've loaned it out to Cole, who wanted to check that out with my Penguin Plus. So I don't have that here. So in lieu of that, since it is Saturday, I'll show you what's in my pocket today. So we'll get 5 on here. So for Monday, I had the Quiet Carry 9 in the pocket. Really enjoying this one a ton. As you can see, it has the micarta inlay. Really beautiful milling going on. Titanium backspacer, and then that milling's carried over, and then you have some micro milling down in the body here as well. All of that adds additional texture and grip, which is really great because it makes this ergonomically really secure in hand. You can really feel that. The titanium pocket clip works really well, stone washed to match the rest of the body, really springy, goes in and out of the pocket nicely, doesn't interfere with the lock face here. You got 20 CV, flat ground, belt satin finish, looking really good on there. I did recently strap this one up, been using it and carrying it a lot since I've gotten it, and that's just because I really enjoy this one a lot. Really good access to the lock bar. It is continuing to break in and feeling very smooth on the close. It's like glassy, even though it's not a guillotine, and the detent on it with a slight tune. I just slightly tuned it up. Really snappy now without losing that really fall shut action that you're seeing there. Thumb studs work really well. Jimping's in a good spot, and it's just a comfortable everyday carry knife that I'm able to throw in the pocket and not take up a ton of space. As you can see here, nice thin profile, really carries well, good weight to it, and I just really like the aesthetics. Super clean. So shout out, Devo Mash was in the pocket for Titanium Tuesday, but again, that is on loan to Cole. So in lieu of that, I will show you what's in my pocket today. So today I am carrying the Demco AD 20.5 and S35 VN. This one here has the BGM regrind. How sexy is that regrind? I did lay this one back to 18 degrees per side, and it is a real slicey performer. I was just inside breaking down some boxes from some stuff that had come in this week, and with the hollow grind and the 18-degree angle and the really sticky edge, man, this thing is nice. It has the camo carbon scales, 80s themed here with the giant pivot. These were made by Carbidized to fit the newer models. I haven't seen anyone else drop them just yet, but I'm sure they'll be coming. And then I took the blue anodized Lynch Northwest clip, stripped it, and then I anodized it green. This is about 40 watts. And then I have these skiffs in the pivot, Rocket Glides, smooth, glassy smooth. Both of these actually have the Rocket Glide skiffs and the pivot. The Quiet Carry 9 has the newer 5mm. I want to say it's 364. I think it's 364. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the skinnier version. So on Wednesday, I carried the Roxy 3. You guys know how much I've loved this if you've been around on the channel, and you can clearly see the use coming in on this S35VN coated blade here. Well, there you go. I use this to get into a lot of packages and just cut a lot of things on the go. I'm not really heavy using this to break down a ton of boxes and things of that nature, but just something that's really cool looking that has a ton of fidget factor to it. So you got the thumb hole that you can flick and reverse flick. You have the fuller that you can dig into if you prefer to use that. You have the front flipper that works really nicely on this one here. Lots of ways to deploy it. Great lock bar access. It is really nice. And even though the blade is a tall flat grind that's relatively thin, and lightweight. It still glides closed. I did again throw skiffs in here. Anything that remains in my inventory for a long period of time, I'm throwing skiffs in there. And I just really am impressed for a small knife how this actually works really well. It doesn't take up a ton of space, so I'm able to carry other gear, which is important to me. I gotta have my pen on me, flashlight. I use those things fairly often. I use the pen actually more than I use the knife, so it is really important to me to have that extra gear in there, and it doesn't weigh the pocket down. I also really love the bronzed hardware and how it accents the black, even though it is all blacked out. And the pocket clip on this is really nice. You have the Todd Knife and Tool logo on there. That is who designed the Roxy 3, and it's just a great knife, man. I really like that one. As you can see, just a little bit smaller than the AD 20.5, but that forward finger choil is done so well that you're able to just carry that. On Thursday, I went with the Thumb Stud Thursday theme, and I had the other Demco AD 20.5 out here that I owned. This one is the 3V variant. It has the BGM regrind on here and also laying it back 18 degrees per side. Really, really slicey. I did opt out of the original Sharkbite original goat scales to their OG1 scales. I like this one here because it does have the texturing that I'm able to put my fingers on and get a good grip on. And it's nice and chamfered around the edges, so it's comfortable for long periods of time in the hand, but it's not quite so aggressive, and it's not sawing at the pocket when I take it in and out of the pocket. This one here, again, I stripped the Lynch Northwest deep carry pocket clip down and went for the higher level blues. These are in the 30s. And then I did the 40, and what I did is pulled it out slowly, and that's how I got the fade. And then I just did the back spacer to match the pocket clip, and again, rocket glides in the pivot. So really glad I have both variants. And I forgot to mention that he did throw the swedge on both of these, and I think it really complements the look of the knife. Really beautiful clip point, and he did such a fantastic job on both of these Demcos. I really like the Shark Lock. I like the form factor, the size, carries really nice, and it's really comfortable in hand as well. And they work, right? They do a great job performing, cutting the task that I do on a day-to-day basis. Last but not least, for Friday, I had a flipper in the pocket, and that is the ProTech Mordax. And you know, I really did not intend to have so many BGM regrinds on here, but you know what? He does a great job. This one here, also laying it back 18 degrees per side, super sticky edge, very slicey. I used this one to get into some packages on Friday that had come in, and I mean, it just barely was touching anything. And then I mountain bike, so I bought a new rack that has a little bit more of a quicker unload and load method on it, and it had a bunch of taped foam on there, and I mean, I was literally just touching the tape to unwrap it, and it was like I couldn't even tell. There was no pressure. It was just eating through it. The action on this continues to remain really, really smooth, locked up solid. Oh, let me check the up and down too. I haven't checked that out in a while. Yeah, up and down, nice and solid. No play, no movement. Rocket glides in the pivot. This has got some seriously good action. Feels good on deployment. Very snappy. You just rip it and drop it. And of course, you can use the button to open and close it if you feel like fidgeting with it. But I like this better than the Malibu because it's a little bit more friendly for the larger hand. You got more real estate on here. You do have a little choke up section that you can move into if you need to do some detailed work. You can get your finger behind that sharpened edge pretty comfortably. I would not go past the knuckle because the meat starts to land on there, but just to choke up. And then, you know, when you're doing your task, you just really use your thumb as the guide for the cardboard and just work towards the middle of the knife, and it is no issue whatsoever. But a great knife, great profile. Really like these. Those were my carry. Again, this is my Saturday carry because the mash is on loan to Cole because he wanted to check out a couple that he hadn't had an opportunity to do so yet. But I at least wanted to have 5 that I could share with you guys that I carried for the week, what I'm enjoying about them and what I like about them. And you know, I breeze over the Lynch clips, but I really like them because he has those dialed and tuned so well. So they go in the pocket nice. They clip with a lot of pressure so that they don't slide out when I'm, squatting or on the ground working on things. For example, when I was putting that bike rack together, and, they look decent. I don't think that, it's a very simple aesthetic, right? It's using the same holes, fold over, ramped, but it's well chamfered, and you can get them anodized from him if you don't know how to do them, or you can strip and anodize them yourself, and they're relatively affordable. He does a good job trying to keep those prices down and not jacking them up. With inflation and the cost of his materials, he did recently have to go up a little bit, but even then it was what he had to update it. So I appreciate that. And it's a made in USA product, which is great. That was what was in the pocket this week, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you've been carrying. I'm hoping this weekend, my son's birthday, got a party tomorrow for him, but I'm hoping I can start going back through my pocket checks that you guys leave the comments on and kind of sharing that in a video. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. I also recently just dropped the 3,000 subscriber giveaway video, so make sure that you go and check that out if you missed it. I got some cool prizes in there, and I love the ideas that I'm seeing so far from you guys in the community. Lots of fun doing that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks, and a shout out to everyone out there that has liked, subscribed, and regularly leaves the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have an awesome week, and until next time, peace.